Oh, Mr. Burn! Oh yes, this bike feels good. Quite tippy down here. Oh, gotta hate honey roll. Hey up YouTube, welcome back to the channel. As you can probably guess from the title, new bike day. So not just any bike, I've turned to the dark side and bought an e-bike. It's a new turbo Levo SL from Specialized. It's an absolutely lovely machine. So today I'm just going to give you my my first impressions about the bike. I have already done one ride over the weekend, but I didn't really have time to make a video. I'm going to go back up onto Ilkley Moor today, where I've done one of my other videos before. I'm going to take it down some of the gnarly tracks and see how it handles compared to the Rocky Mountain. Now, if you don't know, the turbo Levo SL, the SL stands for super lightweight. So the motor and the battery is about half the size of the full fat version. Now what that means is the bike is a lot lighter. So even though the motor puts out less power and the battery is about half the size as well, it doesn't mean that it's going to run out of range really quickly with it being lighter and using less power from the battery. You get quite similar range to the big full fat version. So I did 19 miles over the weekend and 2,700 feet of climbing, and I was mainly in trail mode and a bit of boost mode as well, and I came back home with 27% battery. Now you can get a range extender, which I've also bought, which is another battery that you just put in the bottle cage, and then it's just got a cable that plugs into the charging port down here. So you know, if you're going on a really big long day out, yeah, you just get 50% more battery. So it'll be interesting to see that. I will make a video when I've got probably a weekend free, do a big ride in, I don't know, maybe the Oxerdales or the Lake District, and see how far I can get with the range extender on as well. Right, that's enough of me waffling on about the bike now. If you want to see the specs of the bike, if you're interested in that, I'll leave a link in the description down below, and you can check out the Specialized website. Now with this bike being a lot lighter, it does feel quite like a normal bike really. I've ridden one full fat e-bike before and felt quite heavy and just kind of plowed through everything, but this one feels like it pops over stuff quite a bit more. So if you're considering buying an e-bike, well, so far I'd definitely recommend this one, especially if you're worried about, you know, what it's going to feel like, because like I said, this pretty much feels like a normal bike when you're riding it. I think they weigh about 18 kilos. Right, I'll see you at the top of the massive climb now. Just coming to the last little climb now before I'm at the top of the moors. I don't know if you can tell, but this hill's quite a monstrous one. When I'm on my normal bike, I'm always in my granny ring, proper grinding up here, and your legs are absolutely burning by the top. I've got the e-bike setting trail mode, which is the middle setting on this one, and I'm just plodding up here nicely really. I've got a bit of a sweat on, but my legs aren't killing me at all. It's just quite pleasant to try to kind of climb a hill without your legs screaming at you. So if you are worried about the bike being underpowered, I'd definitely say that it's not underpowered at all. I mean, if you're coming from a full fat e-bike and got on one of these, you might notice. But if you're like me and you're quite cycle fit already, it's really good fun. So another great feature about this bike is if you turn the assistance off like I have just here, especially when you're flat on the flat here, it just feels like you're pedaling a normal bike. There's absolutely no noticeable resistance through the motor. So this section here is pretty hard on a normal bike because it's rough and bumpy, kind of saps all of your energy. Just in eco mode now, and I honestly can't believe how much speed I'm carrying across here. And another good thing about this bike is I've not had to yet put my rear shock in the climbing mode or the middle compression setting. I've always left it fully open, and it doesn't feel like it's got any pedal bob at all. It just feels so efficient, and you know, you don't really feel the need at all to put it in your climb mode or even locked out. I don't think I'll even use the locked out setting on this bike. And just let my subscribers know as well, you might be thinking, what's happened to the Rocky Mountain? Absolutely nothing. There is not a chance in the world I'm getting rid of that bike. It's so much fun. So the reason why I bought this bike is I'll be changing jobs soon, and I thought, rather than wasting money on diesel in my big thirsty Land Rover, why not buy an e-bike? You know, I'm going to be having some fun on the way to work, because I will be coming over this morning, probably down some of these trails, and especially on the way back as well. On the way back I might be able to hit some more trails, get some more training in. I think this bike's definitely going to be an awesome tool for training for enduro events next year. So for example, today I've cycled up from my house. It's probably about 1,000 feet of climbing up to this point, and it's not mellow climbing either, it's fairly severe in places. And I normally, when I find I do that, is I'll get up to the moor and I can maybe do 2-3 runs at the most before my legs have given up. So with this bike, I feel fresh. So what I can do is, instead of driving up here with the bike on in the car, I can just pedal up, get quite a few runs in, especially once I've figured out how much range I can get on the battery, you know, because obviously it's going to depend on how much climbing you're doing, how much resistance is on the terrain. Right, if it's really boggy, then it's going to sap the battery. So yeah, I'm waffling on again, but I'm just so happy with this bike. So I've only got a couple of really minute complaints about this bike so far. First of all is the brake pads. I think they're organic, and when they're wet they're just absolutely useless. So at some point I will be fitting some Uberbike Race Matrix pads. So I've got them on the Rocky Mountain and I find that bike really well. I've changed the saddle, as the one that came with the bike just absolutely paggered my arse in the last ride that I did. What was my other complaint? I think that was it really. Eventually, well, maybe next month I'll change the grips out, because even though they're really nice and grippy, there's not much cushioning, so I think I'll go with my DMR Def grips. I've fitted my quad lock mount for when I'm going to be out doing big rides, like in the likes of the Yorkshire Dales and the Lake District, so I can navigate at the same time as riding. Of course, I've fitted the mud hugger front, and also on this bike I've also opted for the rear. It's not the most aesthetically pleasing mud guard, but if I'm going to be using this bike most days, it's definitely going to be a worthy investment, instead of getting a cold arse when it's muddy and wet, and getting all my gear sprayed with mud, etc. Now I've got the Uberbike flat pedals. These offer amazing grip. I've got a set of these on the Rocky as well, so I thought it's an absolute no-brainer. I'm going to fit them to this bike. Right, what I'll do is I'll bring you back in when I'm about to drop down a cool trail. Cool trail? Sick trail. Sick trail sounds better, doesn't it? Cool, who says cool anymore? Yeah. Right, see you in a bit.